Welcome to the first My Progression debate. The hot topic today is homework. Should we set it? How much should the students be expected to do? And at what age should it start? There are many different opinions on the setting of homework, and these views may vary greatly depending on who you're speaking to. Now, full honesty, we don't have the answer, but we will go through the pros and cons in this video. Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from My Progression, and we would love to hear your thoughts on homework in the comments below. And whilst you're there, like and subscribe to keep hearing more from My Progression. And also have a little click on the bell icon so you'll be informed when future videos come out. Now before we get into all this, let's make sure we all know the basics of homework. To get us on the same page, homework is work that we ask the children to complete at home in a set amount of time. Children are often given homework from an early age, such as reception, and this may be in the form of learning phonics or words to support early reading. Parents or carers have to obviously be involved to support young children in their learning. Historically, the government advised that secondary school children should do 2.5 hours of homework per night, but that guidance was scrapped in 2012. And it's now up to schools to decide how much to set. Your school policy will guide you and the parents as to the expectations. Ofsted explained the change by saying, for homework, it's up to individual schools to decide whether it's age appropriate and in line with their policy. Inspectors do not assess homework as part of inspections. This was a U-turn, as they'd previously placed much more emphasis on homework. Now, on to the debate. So I will be remaining neutral in this debate. I will be arguing for, and I will be arguing against. Setting homework can be a great way of asking children to consolidate their learning from class through practice of something, or you can even ask the children to use and apply their knowledge to another piece of work. You can then assess their understanding of learning through the marking of the homework, which I think sounds like a great idea, right? Yeah, but the downside, the setting of homework can add to an already heavy workload in terms of marking. I mean, haven't we got enough to do? You can't always be sure that pupils will complete work set either. Well, this could help you gain an insight into your pupils and their home circumstances. Hussein says, I couldn't complete my homework because I was at my grandparents' house all week because both mum and dad were at work and I needed some help. Or Jasmine says, my sister's ill in hospital and we were there all weekend, so I couldn't complete my homework. We have to see past the tick on the spreadsheet sometimes, don't we? We need to realise there are bigger problems for some children. You may also deal with the consistent fail to produce homework, that was me, and the don't care attitude. How do we deal with that? Maybe those children stay in to complete the work. It's important to manage attitudes and encourage a positive view on learning outside of the classroom. This is important. Hang on. So this means that the children who are already struggling with a difficult home life get penalised and judged at school as well? No, it's identifying who needs support and where. There shouldn't be any judgment. But you can't deny that some of the reasons the child can't complete their homework or do it to a high standard is out of their control. In some cases, we may have a child who is fully supported and produces homework to an excellent standard, but this does not reflect their ability in class. On delving into the situation, there's a great deal of support at home, and so work is accurate, but is it the child's work? However, any support and extra teaching from home may just be an excellent way of consolidating learning. Parents can find homework informative and helpful, as they are then aware of what their child is learning. They can see how things are done by what methods and what terminologies are used in various subjects. Homework allows a parent to assess how their child is coping with work they're doing in school and to support them. And what about busy, working parents who just don't have a lot of free time in the evening? Completing homework is reported by many parents to be stressful, time-consuming and upsetting. There are parents who only have a couple of hours to spend with their child during the week, and they might want to use that time doing something enjoyable or relaxing with their child. Now, my little girl is not at this stage of life yet, but friends inform me that there can be tears and tantrums over the completing of homework. If you're a parent, you will no doubt have your own experience and opinions about this. Some parents are able to fully invest time and support their child with homework, but some parents may not be able to do this for many reasons. Work commitments, time constraints, children being looked after by wraparound clubs or childminders. It sounds like this may cause stress to the child and the parents, and it means some will have a better output than others. It could, but there's always going to be some level of challenge in life. It doesn't mean we don't do something. Most children do not relish the thought of doing homework, do they? I mean, not all the time. However, as the children progress through the key stages, they may change their opinion and see the value in doing extra work to help them in their studies. Some will always produce homework, and some never will. Clearly, homework is a challenging part of a teacher's role. Right, it's time for closing statements. Homework informs parents of learning at school and is one way of communicating what's going on in the classroom. This can educate parents too. Teachers can assess the pupil's understanding of learning in class and identify issues as they arise or move learning forward. It acts to consolidate school learning for the pupil outside of the classroom, to practice what they've learned and even extend their knowledge and understanding. It forms good study ethics and creates a routine of work. Later, this can be seen as important time management skills when studying at a high level. It can promote self-learning and self-study, and the pupil gains self-confidence and independence in the learning. Homework can promote critical thinking and problem solving, as challenges will make the student resourceful and even creative in their attack of their independent work at home. Homework can boost memory retention, and the practice or extension of a skill will reinforce learning. It allows for revision of topics as well as consolidation of work. Homework allows the child to build confidence, independence, initiative and resilience, and this will further support exam taking in the future. So why would we not encourage the use of homework? Right, now for the cons. Homework creates an extremely long day for a pupil. Is this necessary? It's about the same length of working adults. Shouldn't we just let kids be kids? As any parent will know, homework can cause a great deal of stress, not only for them, but for the child. Homework can be time-consuming and therefore impact on a child's free time. Pupils are probably tired and feel stressed at the thought of having to complete further work at home after a full day at school, and therefore demotivated in their attitude to learning. Homework that needs parental support can identify the social gap between family situations and massively increase the gap. Some will have a huge advantage, and then how do you catch up those that don't? Panic over not doing it or falling behind can lead to absenteeism, and this can create issues between parents. For example, Molly is at Dad's house over the weekend and he wants quality time with his daughter, so homework is unimportant. Mum then has to play bad cop and make Molly complete homework on returning. And can a teacher be sure that the pupil completed the work rather than lots of support from another adult? You could take that time spent marking homework and use it to bridge the gap between those that are struggling and those that are achieving. And this is the big one. There is little evidence to support the impact of homework on attainment. So how can we as educators make homework manageable for ourselves as well as the pupils? First of all, homework set needs to be relevant. There is little point in setting homework on long division when you've been teaching data handling. Children complain to parents that they haven't done this in class and have no idea what to do, and quite rightly so. The rule of teach it, use it, cement it. Homework is a good way to cement that knowledge by going over the topic again. Make sure that a good explanation is given with an example if possible. Give guidance to the pupil, a bit like success criteria for them to aim towards. If using a worksheet from an education site, make sure it's in line with your teaching methods and that you've checked it and the children will be able to complete it. Set your children up to succeed at home. Think carefully about your workload. Is homework going to support your next teaching steps or just create marking? Can you self-mark as a class? Keep a homework folder and make sure you can reuse or adapt for other classes. The hard work initially can support future years of teaching. Perhaps your school has brought into online homework programs, which are also marked. It's then your responsibility to look at the data and see how a child is performing. And this can inform teaching and you can address issues as well as give you the confidence that the children are getting it. You may set a project for homework, which may last over a number of weeks. This can be a motivating way of learning for the children as well as give the child time to complete the project. It may be an open project and the child can present the task however they want to. A poster, PowerPoint presentation, a model, or an essay. Time needs to be given to evaluate projects in class rather than being ignored and no value being placed on the work done. Now, despite the repeal of the 2.5-hour rule, some teachers still go for more is better. But can you make homework small and impactful? Instead of reading 2 chapters of Romeo and Juliet, could they study and fully understand 2 pages? And can you give the kids a choice? We're more inclined to do something if we've been part of the decision-making process. You can give a few options of what homework to complete and the class could vote on what they want to do. This means they're actively voting to do homework. Sometimes due to circumstances, you may not set homework. It may be that you know the class have a lot on, or you do too. And that could be like parents' evening or report writing. So you have to make that professional decision. You may need to check with your line manager or the policy. The argument for and against homework will continue forevermore. As educators, we are all invested in maximising our pupils' learning. We're united by wanting them to do the best. Whether homework is the right or wrong answer, if we continue to push ourselves into creating engaging learning experiences, then we all win. I hope this has been helpful to you. We'd love to hear from you about how you manage homework and any tips or ideas. Please pop a comment below. And I've been Natalie from My Progression, and let's keep your career in motion.